Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video I wanted to walk around my front yard garden and show you what was in bloom. It is the end of July and the garden is full of color. I garden in Zone 6 in Toronto and my name is Preeti and I welcome you to my channel. Just wanted to walk around this morning. It's so peaceful. There's a riot of color in the garden. As you can see, the cone flowers are in their prime. I have a medley of colors here, and I love how the cosmos is kind of peeking through. It's not yet in bloom here, but soon it will be, and it'll add to all this color. But it is so beautiful. I also have a beautiful phlox here. This is the Proven Winners Luminary Ultraviolet Phlox. I love the vibrant purple against all of these colors, and it still holds its own in all of this color. And I love how it has this radiance to it. I can't describe it, but it is absolutely beautiful, and it's looking gorgeous with all of these cone flowers here. And I do have beautiful Liatris in bloom. It is just so architectural, so beautiful, along with the self-seeded Verbena bonariensis. It is also taking its shape and coming into its own now, and I think it's gonna bloom all the way till frost. It's gorgeous. And I do have beautiful little lime hydrangeas coming into bloom. I love the lime texture it offers with all of these other colors. I really enjoy this time when everything is in bloom. And this year is the first year where I'm seeing a lot of my planting that is coming together and coming to life, and I love how this is shaping. I also have a beautiful Prince Charming Buddleia here, which is just starting to open. I love this bright pink, hot pink color of this Buddleia. It's very different from all the other ones I have, and I love how it's looking in the garden. And the roses are flushing back again. I also have some blooms on the Atlas rose there. It's just really pretty. Also have some butterfly weed that is blooming as well. It is popping in and out with that orange color. Geranium Roseanne is blooming. Roses are starting to come back. The lilies are fading. There's only a few blooms left on the lilies, but they're still quite beautiful. But the roses are starting to come back, as you can see. Lots of buds on roses. There's gonna be another show of roses soon, but it's exciting to see everything in bloom. Also the salvias that I cut back are starting to flush back blooms as well. So the garden is full of color. It's alive, and it's got so much personality right now. The sedums are also getting ready to put on their color. This one is already opening up. This is a shorter variety. I think it is something Joy from Proven Winners, and it's also gorgeous. I do have more cosmos blooming. This is a beautiful dark cosmos that's blooming. Lots of color. There's also a Stokes aster. This is Honey Song. It's a beautiful aster. It's got a nice color to it, a good size flower, and it really is pretty, and it blooms very prolifically as well. So this is called Honey Song. I do have some perennials and some zinnias that haven't opened here yet. Lots of buds on roses. As you can see, I have a flower here on my Dark Desire rose. It's gorgeous. I love the color of this rose. Lots of buds on Boscobel rose as well. Is starting to flush new blooms. Gorgeous. The Quickfire is changing color. It's becoming this pinky color, and I love how this is looking. And over here I have a beautiful delphinium. This one is called Red Lark. I recently planted it, and look at the color on this. It's so gorgeous. It's got this salmon pink that turns into this reddish color. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is the Ringo Rose. It's also putting on a lot of new flowers. Just looking really vibrant, really beautiful. And I also have a lot of Scabiosa that is still blooming here. Lots of blooms still on the blanket flower. As you can see, this needs deadheading. I need to come out and remove all of these spent blooms. But yeah, this is what the garden is looking like. Absolutely gorgeous. Just on the other side, there is also more color here. Beautiful bloom on this globe flower, Trollius. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Lots of cone flowers here as well. Looking really spectacular. The color is just absolutely gorgeous. I need to come and deadhead this Veronica, but it still has some blooms. It's got some blooms at the tips right now, so I'm just letting it all fade back, and then I will come out and give it a little cut back. But I love how all of these colors are looking in the garden. There is Copper King Heucherella, which is looking really absolutely gorgeous with all of these colors, and also peach. I think this is a peach, peach flambe heuchera. This is also looking really good, and I planted a bunch of pelargoniums here which are starting to flower, and add a bunch of red here, and I love how this is all turning out. Here is a blue boa hyssop. It's also looking really pretty. I love the blooms on it. They're so thick and beautiful. Lots of daylilies here. I actually wanted to show you this daylily, but it hasn't opened yet. But it's a beautiful red daylily. Lots of and blooms have started to appear on the Nepeta as well. So lots of color, lots of flowers. It's just absolutely stunning, and I really love this variegated phlox. This phlox here is called Nora Lay. It is a beautiful phlox. I love the foliage. You know, when it's just the foliage, people think it's a shrub, but it's actually a phlox, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's got beautiful, delicate pink and white blooms, and really the star are these leaves and the structure, but when it blooms, it just adds another dimension to this plant, and it will bloom now. It'll continue blooming till hard frost. So it's a beautiful phlox if you want to add to your garden. I have never ever seen any powdery mildew on this phlox, and it's absolutely stunning. Lots more blooms in the back here. I'm trying not to step in and get inside and show you, but I wanted to show you this beautiful Miss Ruby Buddleia, which is blooming. It's starting to bloom as well. It has a similar color to the Prince Charming, but the Prince Charming has bigger blooms and a little bit more vibrant of a pink. And let me zoom in and show you. Beautiful lily, beautiful quicksilver arbor rose in the back, climbing rose. I planted it this year. Still growing, still little, but I hopefully eventually wanted to cover this chain link fence, and I think it will look beautiful as a backdrop. I have some hollyhocks in the back there. They are kind of done blooming. Actually, we'll walk over and show you my little wild area here. So I do have a big patch of borage here. This is kind of my wild section. I have Rudbeckia that blooms here. Actually should have shown you this hollyhock earlier, but it was covered in blooms from top to bottom, and it was absolutely stunning with these two colors of pink and white. So the pink is a single flower and the white is a double flower, and I love how it combines together, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I have this area just wild. It has got a lot of self-seeded calendula. It has borage. It's just a feast for pollinators here. They love this borage, and they come and they feast on it the whole time. I love the blooms on the borage as well. They're edible, they're beautiful, and they're blue. So beautiful blooms on this. Gorgeous. I need to cut back the yarrow, but it's still looking good with all of its structure in the garden. I do have beautiful, actually the quickfire hydrangea here has turned really pink, and it's really blending in with all of the pink flowers. I do also have firelight hydrangea in the back there. The blooms are gorgeous. I wish I could go up close and show them to you, but they are really beautiful, bright white right now, and absolutely stunning. I do have this hummingbird mint that is really grown it's really massive right now. I think I might have to consider dividing it, but I don't want to disturb it right now. But it has the most beautiful peachy pink blooms and a really lovely sagey foliage. This is like a beautiful sagey green. Some more tiger swirl lilies here. Those are looking gorgeous. My Japanese maple in the back is looking really nice as well with all of these colors. And then in the front here I have beautiful blanket flowers, as well as some helenium. So this is autumnal helenium. This one is called red shades, so it has shades of red and orange, and just absolutely a beautiful flower. And I also have lots and lots of Scabiosa here. So I have the Pharma Deep Blue and I have the regular little ones, and they are just beautiful. And I also have a ton of coneflowers here. So this area had a big patch of lamb's ear, which I took out and I replaced it with some more coneflowers. So this is a mix of coneflowers. It has reds and oranges and pinks, and I also added hibiscus here. This one is called Berry Awesome Hibiscus by Proven Winner. So this is going to have these dark colors. And for us, hibiscus, perennial hibiscus is great, but it's not really a focal plant because it only blooms in August and August into September. So it doesn't have a huge presence in the garden, but I like when it just pops up out of nowhere and gives these huge blooms. So I kind of wanted to tuck it in the back there, so when it's not there, there is still a lot of other things happening. And then this double play Doozy Spirea is also putting on new flowers and new growth, and it's looking really pretty. I trimmed back all of the dead flowers and it's really looking like it's refreshed and it's ready to put out some new flowers. And then I have beautiful Coreopsis Zagreb. I have them in the front here. I love this Coreopsis. It's got a really beautiful ferny foliage, and I love the yellow blooms. They are quite a different yellow. They have this beautiful, almost like a mustard Dijon kind of color, but much brighter. So it's really beautiful yellow. And then I have a variegated sedum here, which I'm looking forward to see it bloom. So it picks up on the variegation of the phlox from this side, and this is going to be a nice variegated sedum here as well. So beautiful blooms here, lots of color. As you can see, I haven't cut back the moonshine yarrow yet. I need to come and cut it back, but even the spent blooms look okay. But I can see now that they are turning brown. So I will cut them back and hopefully it'll flush back with a new set of blooms. Lots more roses in the back that have started to bloom. Let me show you this one here. This is opening up again and it's really looking beautiful. Lots of buds on this rose, lots of beautiful flowers, and it's really nice to see lots of buds on the roses. There are some lilies in here that have opened as well. They are looking quite interesting. Hydrangea in the back there has some blooms as well, and it's grown pretty tall this year. Let me see what else is happening here. So here is Serendipity Allium. This is in full bloom as well, and it's looking really beautiful. I love the color of this allium, and it's a newer variety by Proven Winners. It's called Serendipity, and it's got really nice sized blooms, really beautiful. And this should now flower all the way till fall, and it's going to look really nice in the garden. Let me take a step back so you can look at it. And the phenomenal lavender is still blooming. It's looking really beautiful. It's got beautiful fragrance, and it's really a pretty lavender in the garden. So what I wanted to show you next is this beautiful hydrangea in the back. Let me walk over there and show you that hydrangea. Hydrangea here is the Quickfire Fab hydrangea. It is supposed to bloom sooner than the regular Quickfire hydrangea, but in my experience it did bloom a bit later than that, but it could be just because it's a young plant. But it's beautiful. I am excited to have this hydrangea in my garden. This one hasn't changed color yet, but it has more of that conical bloom instead of those open flowers that Quickfire has. So excited to have this in the garden and it's starting to bloom. Some more lilies that are just winding down, and I still have lots of flowers on this dressed up evening gown heuchera. It's just such a beautiful plant in the garden and really pretty. Some more growth on the Shropshire Lad Rose. There is lots of new growth. Hoping it's going to flush some new blooms as well. And yeah, the garden is looking really beautiful this morning. I just wanted to show it to you. Lots and lots of lavender, blanket flowers, and lots of growth on roses. So we should see some more roses very soon. But I also wanted to show you this new area that I worked on in the last couple of weeks. I actually started a new patch of garden here. This is my health strip or parking strip, or you know, this space between the road and the sidewalk and my front yard. So this area here was full of weeds. It was just getting a really bad type of weed that was growing all over the grass, and I decided to kind of change that and put in some plants here that were given to me by friends, were overflowing from my own garden, and some clearance plants that I've been finding in the last couple of weeks. And I think this is really going to be one of those spots where it starts from nothing and it becomes a beautiful thing. And I think it's already becoming a beautiful thing, and I'm really excited to share this one with you as well today. Show you what I have in here. I have a couple of geranium roseanne in here, which I'm hoping it kind of spills over this driveway area a little bit. And then I have nepeta. I have whisper pink nepeta that I planted here. I have a couple of plants which were dying, and I rescued them, and they were just $1, and they are looking so good in this strip here. I got some plants that were given to me by a friend. So there's lots of echinacea. There is some salvia. There was some daisies here that I planted as well. They don't look like much right now, but I'm hoping next year they're going to be fine and come back. And then I also added a beautiful Pugster Blue Buddleia here. I think it will be really nice to have this one here because it's going to be drought tolerant and really happy in this condition, because the soil here can get really hot and dry. Also have a beautiful lavender that I planted here. Just some pieces of sedum that I'm rooting from cuttings. I have some daylilies that are just not going to do a whole lot this year, but I'm hoping they fill in next year. This is a spirea shrub that we rescued last winter, and this is doing really well. It's come back really well, and I moved it a little bit over here. Originally I just had planted that shrub in the middle there, and it was all but the shrub and weeds. So I kind of cleaned this area up. I moved the shrub here, and I mulched this area as well and planted some hostas. So I have some beautiful hostas that I also planted here, because as you can see, there is a tree above us, and it casts a bit of shade in this area here. So I kind of wanted to have plants here that would be happy in a little bit of that dappled sunlight. So I planted some hostas here, and I think these are all Proven Winners hostas. This one here is I believe Seducer. There's Seducer, there is Diamond Lake, and then there is this one is the Hudson Bay. So I'm excited to see how these do. And then I also have Electric Plum Heuchera here that I planted. Beautiful pink blooms and beautiful color on this. And then I also planted some all dressed up evening gown heuchera, because it's my favorite and it does really well here. Also have some echinacea that was just left over from other spots in my garden, which got planted here. And then also some coral bells that I got from someone as well, a little piece of it. So this one is doing really well as well. I also have some thyme here. I have some salvia here, and I do have some hummingbird mint here as well, which is doing really well, and some sedum that's doing well as well. And then there is also some other coral bells here which were given to me also, you know, as little pieces that I planted here. So, and also these iris were given to me by that friend. I don't know what color they're gonna be, so that's going to be exciting next year. And then some daylilies as well. So lots of beautiful plants in this little strip already, and it's looking really good. And the other thing I planted was I planted some knockout roses in the middle here. These are blushing knockout roses. They were on such a good price at my local grocery store. They were $9 a plant, and I did plant 3 shrubs in there. I kind of want them to be one big shrub, so that's what they are going to be in the middle, and they're going to have this really soft pink color. So I'm excited to see what these are going to look like. And then I have lots of transplants of sedum from my other parts of my garden. Sedum is really easy to just stick in the ground, and it'll root and it'll do fine. So I did add a little layer of sedum here, so this should fill in really nicely as well. And then I have some lupin that I found on clearance as well. It has a beautiful pink and white bloom, so I'm excited to add this as well in this garden. So this is a really nice little health strip garden that is started already, and I really love how this is looking, and it kind of mirrors what I have going on this side, all the color and all the beauty. So it's just going to carry the eye forward and bring it here as well. So just wanted to share with you this little update of in my front garden. Last but not the least, let me show you my driveway garden. So this one here is beautiful as well. This garden is mostly pinks, and I love how this looks with just pinks. It has some purple in it, and it has some sedum that's also going to bloom. It has beautiful balloon flower, beautiful lily here. This is always afternoon daylily, beautiful. And I recently also planted this beautiful wine and roses standard, so excited to see this one bloom in the spring next year. Pink, lots of pink yarrow here which is done blooming. I need to cut it back. And I also have this beautiful dark-leaved hydrangea here. I think it's called Pink Dynamo. So these will also be beautiful in this once they're established. And here is my beautiful hydrangea which is blooming, and I love it. This is one of my first and original shrubs that I planted, hydrangea shrubs that I planted in this garden, and it's absolutely beautiful, reliable, comes back every year and just looks fabulous. I do not know the variety, but it's a beautiful shrub. It stays about 5 feet tall, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then this is my Rose of Sharon. It is Blue Chiffon Rose of Sharon by Proven Winners, and it's also looking absolutely stunning. So with that, I wanted to end this video, and thank you so much for coming along with me to take a look at my beautiful front yard garden. And I hope everyone who joined me today is having a fabulous day, and I will catch you very soon in my next video. If you enjoyed watching this tour, do give this video a thumbs up and comment below what your favorite flowers were that you saw, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today.